You know, when you're looking for the presence of God in the world, you'll find it. Whatever we look for in this world, we'll find. You know, whenever you buy a new car, you start seeing that color and the same car everywhere you go. Because whatever you look for, you'll find. There's a homeless fella who often comes to Trinity and gets some food and help with laundry and that sort of thing. And he told me something. I've known him for 3 years, and he told me something a couple of months ago that I found remarkable. He said, whenever I get my check at the end of the month, he said, I always put away $20, and then when I see somebody worse off than me, I give it to them. Now, rationally speaking, we might say to him, well, keep the 20 and don't panhandle so much, right? But there's something in him that knows he needs to give. There's something in him that knows there's somebody who at any moment can be worse off than him. And that's such a wonderful expression of the divine nature, even in the midst of a life that's in chaos and in many ways reflects the ravages of evil. And so we celebrate today our God-given dignity, our Christ nature. We're a part of God. We and the natural world around us are part of the divine DNA. And I was away in Phoenix with my wife, visiting a friend there, and we went to his church. And a woman was being interviewed, and she said something which I found so true and so beautiful. Somebody asked her what she did for a living. She says, well, I'm an agent of God's love, masquerading as a grocery clerk. And really, that's what our lives are all about. Whatever you are, you're really an agent of love, masquerading as caring for the house, or working here, or doing this, or volunteering there, right? It's a beautiful way of understanding our mission in every part of our day. And that's what Jesus was, dedicated to his life. He got baptized, and he decided he wanted to spread the good news that we're all part of God's family, that people shouldn't be excluded, that true love requires fairness and respect, that God's on the side of the victim and works to turn those taken over in evil to make them right again. And we've got that capacity too. But at the same time, as he was led into the wilderness on a visiting quest, a retreat, if you will, he struggles with what the gospel writer calls the devil. And we've got that same struggle in our lives. We know that struggle within us. The dark emotions that lead to judgment and selfishness and greed and doing things that harm creation and harm others. We're talking about spiritual realities, and so we have to give them names. So we can talk about them and be aware of their presence. If we can't identify something, we're ignorant of it, and then it's got us under its control. But we can't take any of the names we use in religious talk. We can't take them literally. Because as Jesus said, what is spirit, and what is flesh. The reality of God and Satan, good and evil, is cosmic and beyond what we can just grasp or label or say, there it is. You see, the problem is we often think of God primarily as a being rather than a spirit. But when we think of God as a being, we end up creating an idol that diminishes the scope and mystery of God. So too, if we think of Satan as a being rather than a spirit, we create a joke that masks the reality of evil, the devil man. And so we have to identify goodness and evil as a living, influencing spiritual reality that's a part of us inside and around. It's a part of the atmosphere of existence. And the only thing we can claim and hold for sure is that love, the fruit of the Spirit, what the New Testament calls, all that enhances life and evolves cooperation and beauty and peace and goodness, that's what matters. And everything has to be put against that lens to see whether it's good or not. So too, anything and everything that's a threat to people getting along and respecting each other and seeing that everyone has a chance to love in a life, anything that's like that is wrong and to be rejected. And that includes how we treat Mother Nature. You see, over the years, years, evil has seduced us, and we're just starting to notice how evil seduced us and thinking that nature is not divine and we don't need to care about it. Because evil flows through the energies of greed and fear. Those energies are like a bacteria culture that just is ripe for evil to do its work. And we think of the greed of investors down through the years who saw Mother Nature as a dead thing that they could turn into cash, even if it meant destroying the soil and the air and the water and the animals. We think of the greed and arrogance of colonizers who were seduced to think that they had the right to conquer other nations and steal their stuff and their land, even killing them if they needed to. I mean, for most of us, that's our people. That's our history. And we did it in the name of God. That's how Satan operates. That's how the divine mystery of evil operates. It always masquerades in the name of what is right. And then there's the arrogance of humans who think they're smart enough to put new chemicals and compounds into the food chain and say, oh, we're safe. And then, of course, we find out later that they're not, and they end up causing cancer. And then there's the fear of the public that they won't have a job if they don't support the companies that harm the earth, even though they often hate doing so in their job. And what can they do? They've got to feed their families. There's the real fear that workers have, which is real, and that comes from a system of inequity based on greed that has no interest in sharing resources or money for the common good. In the last 50 years, 90% of all the productivity gains have gone to 1% of the population. That's why we have so many of the problems we have today. And all this results in the destruction of God's beautiful, life-giving creation. I talk about creation because it's now becoming at the top of the priority list. Our eyes are being opened. Just as years ago, our ancestors had their eyes open to slavery. I mean, they were taking slaves from Africa in the name of God and making Christians out of them so that they could be wealthy in the southern United States and through the British Empire. But eventually, the light came in and people began to realize this isn't right. So Jesus went on a spiritual retreat and he faced the devil, and we're all under that influence one way or another all the time. The evil influences we're most aware of are those inner struggles that we face as we try to live good lives. The devil comes to Jesus with a seductive line that really challenges me when I'm facing something that feels overwhelming. And Satan says to Jesus, take it easy, man. You know, you're out here in a 40-day retreat. That's pretty impressive. You don't have to starve yourself at the same time. You got the ability to turn that stones into bread. Do it. Take it easy. You know, 40 in the Bible is the number of what's required to have new life, to have new opportunities. The children of Israel wandered in the desert for 40 years. Why 40? Because 40 is the number of weeks of pregnancy required for birth. So whenever you see 40, you're seeing a period leading up to something special, something great. And so make yourself some bread, Jesus, the inner temptation said. But Jesus knew we can't take shortcuts to wisdom and deepen faith and hope and love. And as great as bread is, and the materials of life are, without hearts and minds filled with confidence and hope and kindness, the physical realities of life will not satisfy us. Which is why Jesus' friends nicknamed him the bread of life. Because what he was talking about satisfied deep down inside. The evil's all about shortcuts at everybody else's expense. But Jesus stuck to the spirit-building plan. And did you notice in our scripture, the devil's always quoting scripture because, as I say, evil's always masked in the mask of what's right. Classic Christian God that really came into forte in the 14th century. The God, so many of us, maybe not so much in the United Church and other churches grew up hearing about, I mean, that God is really quite evil. I mean, God really, if you Google the conventional God that most churches are talking about, is a narcissist who has to be praised all the time. And if you praise anybody else, that God's going to get you. And that's a God who can't forgive us. Unless poor Jesus dies on the cross, right? Animal, human sacrifice. That's the kind of God that Christianity's been known for the last 700 years. That kind of God is not kind, not respectful, not fair. And that's predominantly the reason people say they're atheists. When people say they're atheists, it's not because they don't believe in the real spirit of love. It's because they don't believe in that kind of a crazy God that requires Jesus to be killed on the cross to forgive us. I mean, it's like God has his own set of moral values, and if we were like God's moral values, we'd be locked up in prison or in a insane asylum. It was in the guise of religious freedom that the Trump administration is trying to repeal the laws Obama put in to let the LGBT community adopt children who had no homes. Oh yes, freedom of religion gives you the right to discriminate against others. The judgment of other tribes and religions and the judgment of every form of sex that was not between a married man and a woman is sold as God's requirement, instead of making love God's requirement. This leads to people not being honest about who they are and what they really need. I was so saddened and blown away when I heard of Jean Vanier. Jean Vanier was a saint. He was someone who understood that disabled people didn't need to be taken care of by professionals, needed to be taken care of staff who would be friends to them, and so created large communities, large meaning an ark of safety. And so the people lived together and their caretakers were friends, and there was a real genuine sharing and a sense of community. But it's come out now that he sexually manipulated some of the staff, not the disabled, thankfully. But he manipulated the staff into sexual relationships they didn't want. Why? He must have had some kind of block in his head that didn't allow him to take responsibility for his own need for intimacy and sexuality. And so he ends up harming people and besmirching his reputation and the whole reputation of L'Arche. It's so sad when that happens. We need to face our darkness and struggles honestly. Sometimes we need a therapist to help us, a minister. We need good people around us to help us. We need a good friend to talk to. We've got to face our darkness and struggles, not out of fear. Fear leads to judgment. Fear leads to nothing good. We need to move from fear to curiosity. Why am I this way? What's going on inside of me? And find answers to that so that we can become whole and healed. The more we focus on anger, the angrier we become. The more we focus on shame, the more shameful we feel. It is the love and offer of forgiveness and new beginnings and the support of good people that increase the power of faith and hope and love in us. As we focus on what is kind and respectful and fair, as we move from judgment to curiosity and awareness, angels come our way as they came to Jesus. My stole today is from India, and it was made by women who had been sold as children by their parents in the sex trade. And yet they heard from a community group a message of love, a message that allowed them to move from shame, to claim their dignity, to claim forgiveness, to claim their empowerment, to claim that they had done nothing wrong, to claim their dignity as God's children. And so they make these stones, these beautiful stones, as a sign of their new understanding of who they are and claiming who God has really made them to be. And that's our ministry together, is bringing out the best in one another. And the angels will come our way as they came to Jesus to help us and to stand up to that evil presence within and without that causes us to move to the dark side. They will help us find our way through the desert into meaning, into peace, into joy, which is God's desire for all of us. And so we give thanks for that great love that creates and sustains us and holds us forever.